so thank you for everything. I know you don't like doing this kind of thing. Was it totally painful?
It was all painful. I do not like doing it all anymore. I'm so done.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay though. It's okay.
I have to tell you honestly, if I had known that you didn't want to talk about any of this, I would definitely have not talked about it.
But it's okay. I had to do it because I promised it.
Yeah, but you didn't. I mean, I guess you promised it to the movie people, I guess. But that's not how I work it. The point for me is just so people can get to know who you are. It's not about what happened then.
But see, I don't mind. Just that I want people to understand why we say things, understand why we go through this.
Wow. So yes, today, Todd Bridges is my guest. You probably remember him very well as Willis on the 80s sitcom Diff'rent Strokes. As a child, he was also in shows like Roots, Fish, and Little House on the Prairie. Later, he was on TV again in shows like Everybody Hates Chris. Now he's a producer, and he's one of the subjects of a new HBO documentary called Showbiz Kids, which looks at the experiences of different child actors and has interviews with other child stars like Henry Thomas, who played Elliot on E.T. You guys know how I feel about that movie. Love it. And Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Wheaton from Stand By Me, and Mara Wilson, who played the little girl in Mrs. Doubtfire. You can get Showbiz Kids now on HBO. So this talk is really wide-ranging. We talk about racism and Black Lives Matter and the current political situation. And we also get into things like today's TV shows like Perry Mason and the Righteous Gemstones, as well as dating, how to trust people or not trust them. And yes, we do talk about his past and Diff'rent Strokes, Gary Coleman, Dana Plato, and everything you've heard about Todd's past. But there's more to the story than you probably think. And as you can see from that little preview bit that I played at the beginning of today's show, Todd is not a fan of interviews. I didn't realize that until about halfway through. You will hear why. Before we start, here's a quick word from our sponsor, the online therapy platform, BetterHelp. If there's something interfering with your happiness or getting in the way of your goals, BetterHelp can match you up with a licensed therapist, and you can start talking to her or him in less than 48 hours. You can do phone sessions or weekly video sessions. There are no waiting rooms, no more feeling stuck with a therapist you don't feel good about. You can change your therapist at any time. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today, and you get 10% off your first month if you use the link betterhelp.com/reallyfamous. Now to my talk with Todd Bridges.
Okay.
We're good. I hear you. Good. I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. So we see each other and we hear each other. That's always a good thing.
Sure is.
You good?
It's just me and you?
It's me and you. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Well, go ahead. Ask whatever you want to ask.
We're sorry, but you know what? This is what I do. I just have conversations. Okay. I hate the formal interview. I know you're in the middle of like a press tour for Showbiz Kids. So you're used to, okay, this question and that question. They're probably all the same questions, right?
Yes, they are. Well, it's just that it's, I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's like, am I even going back is the question.
What do you mean?
I may just retire and say, screw it and leave.
Are you really seriously thinking about that?
Yeah.
So
big time.
Walk me through that. Why?
I think it's too much of a hustle. Okay. I think I'm done with the hustle. I'm done with the fakeness. It's time to get real and, live a regular life like everybody else.
So tell me about the fakeness. I'm especially interested in that because the name of the show that you're doing with me is called Really Famous. And that's because I talk to famous people like you, but I'm all about the real person. I'm really into getting to know who you really are. So real is a thing for me.
Good. real is worth it. Trust me.
So tell me,
it's like what I mean by that is you go places, you get to meet people, and everyone's not happy to meet you, but they act like it. You know what I mean?
But why wouldn't
you
they
have to be
meet
nice
you?
because you never know whose project's going to blow up, so you have to be nice. That's why everybody's nice to you. They don't know if you're going to be blown up somewhere again really fast, and so everybody's nice to you for that reason, not because they want to be.
I don't get it though. Why wouldn't they be happy to see you?
Well, some people are generally nice, and some people are just doing their job. You know what I mean? And because it's kind of a fake business. It's not real. It's not real what happens to you on the set. That's not real life. It's fake. So that's the difference.
Well, I guess if anybody knows, it should be you because you've been around it long enough.
Too many years. I think it's 50 years now.
Well, so has it changed at all though? Like at all, the people, the way, anything?
It's changed, but it's not, I don't know for the better. I don't know.
And you're doing a lot of producing now, right?
That's the thing I'm looking forward to.
So that you like.
I don't have to memorize dialogue anymore. It's going to be great. I can just sit out and work some orders out and it gets done.
Yeah.
When we did sell a script with three movies in it. So.
But like, who knows when anything is going to start going again, right?
Yeah, but we can shoot it. We can just go to Canada and shoot it. Because Canada, I think, is letting you shoot stuff. But then again, I don't know who's going to let Americans in anywhere.
Exactly. Everybody's shutting the borders.
3 million cases. Everyone's like, I mean, we were never shunned. Now we're shunned. You can't go to this country. Sorry. I mean, what kind of life are we living in this country right now? When has it ever been where Americans have been shunned from coming to a country? But now we're being shunned.
But like, would you ever have seen that happening a few years ago? Crazy.
Nope. Well, a few years ago, from the very beginning, when someone was granted the pleasure of whatever the person is, it's that I knew we're gonna be in a bad situation because this person is doing more ego than the job. The job is not about ego; it's about doing the job right for the people who live here.
I have to say, I didn't think it would get to this degree. Like, I knew it would be bad too, but I don't think I ever would have imagined this.
Well, the thing is, you can't put somebody in somewhere who's not used to politics. The bottom line is, whether you like it or not, it's a political game. It is. And, I believe both sides do the same to each other, and they do the same to the people. I really believe a third party could fix things, but they'll never let that happen.
I agree. It's not going to happen. But like that could really help things. So what's going on now with you are you in California?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're living in California. So what about everything that's going on with Black Lives Matter? Like, are you into it? Are you on board? Have you like gotten involved at all? What do you?
I'm into anything that's bettering the lives of minorities. I'm in for anything for that. I think we have a tough time in this country, and the sad part about it is not everybody can see what we're talking about. They just are blind to what's really going on. And I don't know if you remember, but I was the first one complaining about this a long time ago. I was the first one who started saying something about it. Everyone thought, well, it's me, I'm a troublemaker, and this and that. And now all of a sudden, everyone sees the truth.
Wait, when was this? When was this that you were the first one?
I started complaining about this when I was 12 years old. I was getting pulled over on my bike at gunpoint. All that stuff was happening to me. I was getting my bike taken from me by the police all the time. It's always happening.
So you've been like racially profiled all the time when you were a kid?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like all the time?
It happened all the way until I was like in like maybe 27, kind of slowed down a little bit. But it doesn't matter. The damage was already done.
So what did you say?
You started making mistakes. Oh, yeah, I was saying something all the time, but it was being avoided by everybody. The media would never cover it because they didn't want to believe it was happening. That's the thing about what goes on in this country is kind of a secret because people act like it doesn't exist. That's the problem.
Well, do you feel like it's any different this time? I mean, I'm going to jump in with one thing. I can tell you that recently, like it feels like there's so much that I can see on what's really going on, like on Twitter.
You can see, right?
It's so, but even though now I can see more than I did when you were 12, and even, 10 years ago, let's say, or 5 years ago, whatever, now I see more, but I also realize that I'm seeing more when I seek it out, because it's being curated by not only politicians, but also by mainstream media. And I'm not saying it's fake news, but it's like they're deciding which things need to go first. So for example, when all the protesting started after George Floyd was killed, it was like so weird to me that in the news, you weren't seeing all those videos, all the video clips of what was going on the streets and what the protests were really like. You see all that all over social media, but it wasn't out there for everybody to see, which is awful.
Exactly.
I can only imagine what it feels like for you. I mean, it's frustrating even for me to see it, but I can only imagine it's a million times more frustrating for you.
The only difference is, I think back when it was happening to me all the time, they weren't killing us, but they were still doing damage emotionally. So it doesn't matter. You might as well have killed us. You've always killed us inside. Anytime a person is made to feel like they don't belong somewhere in their own country, that's when it's bad. No matter what place you achieve, but you get taken down like you're just, it doesn't matter. You're not treated like the other kids are. You're treated differently.
And so that didn't, even the fact that because you were an actor so young, it made it worse. Oh, it did? You feel like you were had a target on your back?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially living in the Valley in the 70s. I was in areas that they felt like I didn't belong in, I guess. But like I said, I think this country is finally seeing what's happening. And I think that we need somebody who can really help us fix this country. Because, the damage it has done to so many minorities, it's just really sad. They got to fix things with us, but they got to fix things with everybody. It's so many people who've been affected by what they've done.
I really do hope things change. Sometimes things have to look ugly.
This country's going to fall apart. It has to.
Do you think Trump is going to win?
I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, let's not.
I don't say any of that.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit. All right, so we started talking about Hollywood and the fakeness of it all. You've seen a lot, you've been through so much. And then I've seen some things that you've done recently. You go to schools now and you talk, right? And you are in a good place. Do you feel yes, you're in a good place in your life now?
That for sure. I am in a really good place. That's for sure.
So how did that happen? What was the turning point?
I think it's just that I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I just care about what I think about me. If someone doesn't like me, so what? Emotionally, I'm in a great place. Mentally, I'm doing well. Physically, I'm doing well. Financially, I'm doing okay. So I'm good. So.
But how did you get there? Because it's not that easy that, I just...
Getting there is a process. You got to work to get there. You can't just walk there. You have to do the work. You got to talk to the right people, do the right things so that you can get to that position. Otherwise, it's nearly impossible.
Right. Okay, so you had some rough years. You're on the Showbiz Kids, which is your new HBO documentary. You're in it along with other child actors from, I guess, all different ages, right? From all different times.
I think I was the oldest.
Oh, really?
I think I was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see anybody there older than me.
Yeah, I guess, right, because Henry Thomas is probably not that old, right? He's pretty young still.
Jovovich is 44.
Right. Oh, wait, hold on. There were a couple of those old school, the vaudeville woman was on it.
No. There was?
Yes, she was 100 or something. Seriously, she was.
Oh, so maybe she's the oldest. I'm not 100, but
there was a guy too.
But I feel damn close.
You're not. How old are you now?
I'm 55 now.
55. Stop, please.
But I've lived every single life, so I feel like I'm 100.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so interesting too. I mean, you hear all this stuff about child actors and like what happens, and obviously all the stories are out there, whatever. But to me, it was really like gripping to watch the show and to see everybody's different take on things. Except I did notice a couple of like prominent themes, and I noticed there was a lot of like bad parenting, I guess, going on.
That didn't happen with me though. My dad,
Yeah.
but not my mom. My mom was great. That's what made me survive with my mom.
Your mom was
She was
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying
I really
something about like
good.
she let you be a kid, right? Like
Yeah, I got to play Little League baseball, park running football. I went to the park, back flips and all that. That's why when I grew up, I was already able to do that stuff. What took me down was the fact that I thought everybody was equal. I thought everything was fair with the police, but then I found out differently, and that's what really screwed me up.
So, like, what was going on? When was that? Was that in the middle of Diff'rent Strokes, or was that later?
It was first season. I was 12. Moved to the Valley. That changed everything.
Wait, tell me. I don't know that story. Can you tell me?
I lived in Baldwin Hills, which is an all-black neighborhood, I guess, and then I moved to the San Fernando Valley, and things changed when I got into the Valley. I got into Canoga Park in the 70s, 77, and that's when everything changed. I wasn't, when I first went to the store, the first day I rode my bike to the store, I got jumped by 7 white kids and 1 Hispanic kid. And I had to fight my way out of it, and lucky I can fight, but still I got hit a couple of times, and I was like, I'll get them all back. And then I started riding my bike other places, and then I would get pulled over by the police when I'm with my other white friends, and they would tell me that my bike is stolen and at gunpoint and take my bike.
That's crazy. Yeah. So like, how did you deal with that?
I didn't deal with it very well. My mom would go hollering at them, they would stop, but it didn't matter, it would continue. Since she wasn't around, it would continue. And then when I started driving, I'd be driving to work, and I got pulled over every day for 4 years. It was always giving me a ticket about something.
That's crazy. I mean, I know that's how it is. I get it. It's still like, what?
Just think this. If you see what's happening now, being caught on video, just think what they were doing before there was video.
Yeah. And even what they're doing without when there's somebody not taking. Yeah.
That's right. And then the thing is, then it's your word against theirs. And they always won. Because everyone thought that police never lied. First saw the Rodney King incident, then we realized that, they lie a lot. Then people realized, then after the Rampart scandal, they lie a heck of a lot. After the Rampart scandal was even worse. But I have been saying about the LAPD forever, but they're a lot different now. I have to admit, they are a lot different. They're a lot better now. They're actually I have a lot of friends that are officers now that are really nice, really good guys. And that's changed a lot. I'm not so worried about LA. It's when I get outside of LA, and when I got to go through Culver City, I got to be on pins and needles, because the Culver police be tripping. You drive through there in a BMW, you're going to get pulled over. It's just how it is.
Oh, so if you're black and driving a BMW, you're saying, then you're going to get pulled over.
If you're black and driving any car that's considered expensive, you will get pulled over. They want to just see who you are. And what
about, do they find out who you are? Do they know? Do they say, they look at your license, they're like, you're Todd Bridges?
Sometimes they do, but before they pull me over, they see, and then they just kind of let me go. But who wants to have them following behind you freaking, for 20 minutes driving behind you? That's nerve-wracking in itself. Totally. They're just right behind you. It's just stressful because your heart, you know what's going to happen, what could happen. Your heart starts beating, starts sweating, you're getting nervous. And then when they see you, you look guilty. But they did that on purpose to drive you crazy. Just if you're gonna pull me over, just pull me over. Stop driving behind me to emotionally mess with me. But you think about it, emotional damage is worse than anything.
Yeah, I mean, you've been through a lot. I also saw that your publicist, right? You had a publicist who like sexually assaulted you, right?
Yeah.
And you were only 11 or 12. So everything was
11. 11 years. Yeah. So that was nothing that kind of messed me up too.
So how did that happen? Like what? It's so many things for you to have to deal with.
It's just something that shouldn't have taken place. But at the end of it, what broke my heart was my father took his side. And my mom knew the truth, and she was not taking his side. She wanted to hurt him, but my dad wouldn't let her. So my dad got groomed too. That's what happens when you get groomed. My dad got groomed too.
So he didn't believe you?
No, he took the side of the other guy because my dad groomed him. I mean, my dad got groomed.
So is there?
Suck up to it.
And is there a lot of that because I heard a lot of that in Showbiz Kids too, about like boys.
It's way more in the world than it is in Hollywood. Whatever's in the world is just magnetized more in our world. That's all.
Right. But I remember, like, I think is Corey Feldman. He was the one who is the one who said it's rampant in Hollywood. He was saying specifically.
Corey is just Corey.
Is that what? That's not
Corey. You very seldom see somebody doing some drugs now. Are you kidding me? It's like everyone who had messed up knows better than to do that crap now. We're all like, no thanks, I'm good. I'll have some water, please. Thank you. We're not idiots, you know what I mean? We especially us that survived when a lot of people didn't survive. I mean, I have a castmate who didn't survive from that. I'm blessed to be still here. My castmate is gone because of that,
I know. That's like the saddest. I mean, right. Dana and Gary. Now, Gary had like kidney problems though, right?
Yeah, Gary, his thing was poor kid, I don't know how he died was mysterious, put it that way. He didn't die like he should have died. That's just mysterious.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened?
Well, remember he fell down the stairs?
I don't remember that. I don't
fell down remember. They said he slipped and fell down 3 stairs, but he had a gash in the back of his head like that.
That's what? So what was going on?
I don't know. I can't speculate.
But what, did he live with like somebody, like was he he lived with somebody?
He was in a relationship, but it was somebody he wasn't married to anymore. He wasn't married to him, then divorced, and it just went downhill, and he didn't feel safe. He called me and told me he didn't feel safe, but I was on vacation, so there's nothing I can do. He's so little, how is he going to defend himself?
Right.
Come on, Gary was like that big, you know what I mean? Any normal sized woman or man is stronger than he is.
So you think it was an abusive relationship then?
I think it definitely was, for sure.
So I thought, for some reason, I guess my memory was that he died because he had all those health problems, but that's not what happened.
He didn't die from that. Gary lived for all those health problems. He was like a miracle in itself. He should have been, I don't know anybody with what he had to live past. He was in his 40s. Remember that? Not many people live to 40s. I mean, my good friend Dana Hill had the same problem. She passed away at 20-something.
So why do you think he made it that long? Because
Gary was stubborn.
He was.
He was the most stubborn guy in the world. So he lived because he was supposed to, because he's stubborn. He pushed it way past the point that he should have ever went, and it was great. That's why we didn't believe when that happened. None of us believed it. We knew it was a farce.
That is so devastating. And so Dana died before Gary, right? Like 10 years or something before?
Yeah. Dana died in 98.
And that was definitely drugs, right? Or was that a suicide?
No, it wasn't suicide. It was accidental. Let me just tell you this. No, most don't die because they're trying to kill themselves. They die because they make a mistake. Take too much of something and don't realize it, and then quack, you're dead. That's why if you don't mix drugs, it's very difficult to die. If you just do drugs you're supposed to do and don't do anything. But I think you shouldn't do none at all. That's the whole question. I'm just blessed to get away from that and not have to use it anymore and not have to worry about that anymore.
So you started using when you're saying the first season too? Is that when you started using when you were like, no, later than that?
It was 26, probably.
You were 26. So you were well done. You were definitely done with Diff'rent Strokes at that point. So you had all kinds of things you had to deal with during Diff'rent Strokes, but you were not.
When I was working and that, I didn't deal with anything. And then when everything got canceled and my money was gone, then I had to deal with reality.
So where'd your money go? What happened with that?
Oh, my account stole that with fake checks. Okay, through the banking system, they put fake checks through there, and the bank was only responsible for the 90 days that I caught them for, not the 3.5 years before that.
What?
Oh my God, it's such a funny story. It's just very funny. Banks are not responsible. If you don't catch them within that year, they're not responsible for that. And I don't know how that's even possible. So if you don't catch them when your money's being stolen, if you don't catch them within that year, even if they have an inside track and someone who works there is doing it, and that's what we finally figured out. It was someone who worked there. They were putting checks to the bank with whiteout on it. Whiteout was over the checks. There's no way it should have been even accepted. The first one should have been thrown away. So if all those checks are being accepted for almost $4 million, what is that telling you? That's telling you somebody's inside is working there, right? Because when I went to get money all the time, where I got my statement from because back in those days, your statement came from the branch probably. I'm sure it didn't come from no office. It came from the branch. So when I looked at it, the money was there. But then when I wanted to get money, I was able to get it. But in actuality, it wasn't there.
That's pretty complex. That's like a complex system going on.
That means you got to have a teller behind it and a manager behind it.
So then they emptied you out basically?
Yeah.
So you were done with Diff'rent Strokes. You were working.
I was going to go on vacation to Europe and kick back for like 6 months and come back and then work. But it wasn't to be that way. I'd ended up going and I was already stressed out and I just couldn't handle it and I broke apart. That's what happened. I didn't get help for anything and I should have. You know, and that's what happens. When you don't seek your help that you need to get, you will fall apart.
Yeah.
There's not anybody who can come through that without doing that. Not everything happened. You know, people have had less than what happened to me, and they didn't make it. So imagine piling all that up, even, you know, piling up the racism that I went through that I had to deal with for so many years. Imagine throwing that in your head too.
Right. And also too, like you were not, right, there weren't that many like Black kids on TV either, right? It was like you and Gary.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, and like
I was on Fish.
That's right.
And
Little House on the Prairie.
And Roots. Everything. I was in all those shows that I was like, they were giving me roles that were actually sometimes made for white people. They were changing them to Black kids.
By the way, you're so good. Like I was watching some clips yesterday of you, and like you're so little and so moving, like amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got into drugs, and then you ended up in jail at some point, right? You were in prison for a while? What happened there?
Yeah, not really for a while, but for, you know, until I won the case.
Oh,
and then what happened was they found out shouldn't even been charged with it.
So it was dropped, right?
Of course, yeah. No, I won. We had to beat them. And
thank God you did.
Oh, trust me. And this is what I'm saying, where thank God I didn't get a, 1970 jury. Thank God I got a mixed 1980 jury that had some sense and was smart, and when I went to trial, they saw the truth and it came out all the lies that were being said. And then the two key witnesses that, there were 7 people who said I did it, but they all got deals. So of course they're going to say that I did it. If you're trying to go home, you'll say somebody did anything. It's just how life is.
That shouldn't be
but
allowed.
The two witnesses, I know, that's what I don't like, but I don't like that either. I mean, it's like, how do you allow like some of these mob guys, they get off on, and the guy's done like 38 murders, but they want the bigger mob guy. So he testified against him and he goes free. No, that should not take place. Everyone should go to jail. That's the bottom line. But the 2 key witnesses in the case that said they were talking to me outside the house, that told the police that, and the police evidently hid that from the DA. The DA puts him on the stand thinking he's got me, and all of a sudden they come with this again. We said, we told him, we wrote it down in the statement what happened. And then Johnny found the statement, and guess what? That's what they told the police. So ultimately, if the DA would have saw that, I wouldn't have been charged.
Did you see Just Mercy, that movie? Have you seen it recently?
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
It was like
Trust
the same.
Me.
It was like the same thing, and right, exactly. So infuriating. But you haven't been broken. You're not broken. You were broken. It broke you.
No,
all these things broke you down, but they didn't break you. Right?
No, that didn't happen.
So why do you
I'm
think
sure
that
I'm surprised. I'm sure I'm surprised because I just know that it's okay. But I'm at the stage now where I said I don't care what nobody thinks. I don't care what they think anymore. I don't care what they believe in me and what they think. I know the truth, and that's all that counts. I know it only matters what I think. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about me.
Well, what do other people think? What do you think? What are you tired of people thinking that's not real?
Well, no, I'm just tired of the news media always bringing it up. They don't bring it up on the other actors. I don't hear them talking about Robert Downey Jr. and bring up his past, because his past is just like mine.
Yeah.
I don't care what he's done. His past is just like mine. And guess what? I think I stopped before he did. But, I'm going on almost, dang near 30 years. But that's never said.
Yeah, that's no good. That's no good.
No.
Now I feel bad that I talked to you about it. I feel bad.
Well, I'm just saying, but see, that's the thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. the fact that you went through all that stuff and now you are where you are, that's big and should be acknowledged. That's part of your story, but the big part is that that's how it was for you, but then look what you did. You know what I mean?
But it's not talked about.
So let's talk about it.
No one gives you the reward of what actually happened, of what you've gone through and where you are today. No one gives you the reward for that.
I am. So you've been like sober or clean for a long time, right? Like 30?
29 years, yeah, going on 30.
That's huge. How did you get clean?
You know, you just get tired of repeating the same behavior over and over again, and the results don't change.
So you just did it. You decided it's time, I'm done.
It was that last arrest, and I was like, I'm done. You know, because then I started making mistakes and giving them no choice. You see what I mean? And so it's like what happens when they break you is you have a tendency of giving them opportunities to take shots at you. You know, if you could just, but it's so hard to get out of that for a little while. And I stayed in that rhythm for like about a year and something. I stayed in that rhythm, and then all of a sudden I stopped, and I'm sure it must have blew their mind. You know, last time I went to jail, I was like, I won't go back here again. I'm like, nah, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
And I meant it. They thought I was playing. Oh, you'll be back. No, I will not be back. I didn't come back.
But isn't it amazing? If you really decide something, isn't it amazing that it can just be done? Well, that's why
you have to decide it. No one can decide anything in your life for you but you. If you don't decide whatever you want with your life, it's never going to go that way.
So did you start to feel like things started shifting for you after that? Like, did you feel like things started to fall into place? No?
Shift for me, but not for anything else. I mean, I still have to, like I said, I got to deal with the backlash of what people think about me before I work. That's just how it is.
So you mean
people have to take a chance with me, you know what I mean? And that's what I mean. The sad part about it is we don't get the chances like everyone else does. You get your one chance. If you make mistakes, then he's messed up.
Oh, so this is it's like work related mostly.
Mm-hmm. But you know, it directly affects your life. People got to work, right?
Yeah.
But when
you did get work.
When you're high profile, you can't even get a regular job.
Did you try?
Everyone knows your business.
Yeah, it was like, do you remember the guy? I don't remember his name, but he was in the Cosby Show. He played the son-in-law, and he got a regular job like this is maybe 5 years ago at Trader Joe's. And that was like a whole
media did to him. Yeah. It was disgusting.
Like he's working. He's, you know what I mean?
All they care about is that, he's not acting, he's not working. I mean, what does it matter if he's not acting anymore? Maybe he doesn't want to act anymore. Maybe he wants to do a regular job. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
So did you ever think about doing a non-entertainment job?
Like for a few years.
What did you do?
I worked as a chemical dependency tech. But you know, the problem is unfortunately, you start living that life and you realize that you need to make a little more money to pay for the things that you have, you know. So you have to start doing different business, you know, back to your own job that you used to. Right. I've been fortunate. I've been working a lot, so that's the fortunate part about it. But you know, I'm just tired of the media bringing up my past. Just let it go. It's over. It's done. Let it go.
Well, then why did you agree to do the documentary then? Because that's your past too. I mean, they weren't talking about.
Because I didn't think I would have to do this stuff. This has been thrown at me, and I'm like not happy. Believe me, I'm not happy about it.
Oh, so I gotcha. So you would much rather not be doing this right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm only doing 2, and that's it. I'm not doing anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, and I want you to know this too. I told you at the beginning, like I'm all about the real person and not just the same story or whatever. So like, let's talk about other things about your life so that we can get to know you beyond that, what everybody thinks or doesn't understand or whatever. So let's totally do that. So tell me about your typical day. What do you normally do in your world today?
I'm, when you clean up, you know what I mean? You shower, I play video games, and then I go to when it's not not going on what's going on now, I'm working a job. I'm usually working that week. I mean, I did stand up for 15 years, so usually I was leaving a weekend to do stand up, but I don't do that anymore because I can't say anything I want to say anymore. I have to watch everything I say now.
So so when you did stand up, you felt like you could, I mean, that's the,
When I first did stand up, I could say whatever I wanted to say. Didn't really matter. If it's funny, you say it. Now you have to be so PC, it's ridiculous. So you just can't say everything anymore. So I was like, I'm going to stop now before I get in trouble. Or someone gets a clip of me saying something funny, that's crazy, but that's how life is.
That's right. You're on social media. I saw you on social media. So you're not on a ton, but yeah, you seem to be on Twitter a pretty good amount. You like it?
No, not really, but it's all right.
But you can say what you want there.
No, I cannot still say what I want to say. I'm still filtered. If I say what I want to say, I'll get phone calls from everyone saying, take that off, take that off, take it off.
Right. Also, you have some hero stories too, by the way. You're right. You were like, you saved somebody, somebody was about to drown. And then another time you saved somebody like at home, like, right. You're like a hero too.
Yeah. You do what you're supposed to do, what you know how to do. That's all.
Well, and your instincts have to kick in and that has to be your,
just do it. Yeah.
Do you watch TV ever? Do you go to the movies? Like, I mean, obviously not now.
I don't. Well, I did go to the movies, but we haven't been able to go in almost going on 7 months now, 8 months.
Yeah.
I think the day of the movie theater may be done.
You think?
I don't think you're ever going to crowd that many people into a theater again. There's no way. 300 and 400 people a shot. I think that's done. It's too risky now. I'm not going to sit in a movie theater ever again. I don't think. I just don't find it safe enough.
So are you nice and careful? Like, are you always wearing a mask when you go out, the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. I do not. I don't believe it's fair to not wear a mask. I think it's bogus and messed up. And I think that when you don't wear a mask and you're fighting that, you are really trying to play with this thing that's fire right now. It's like, that's how we got here that's why we're here in the very beginning. 3 million cases, more than any other country in the world. That's ridiculous. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We're supposed to be leading the nations in what we do, but look at us. We're just stupid. Over here being dumb. You're taking away my rights. How is that taking away your rights? Just wear the mask. You're only usually out for everybody who goes out, you're out for 45, 35 minutes, maybe 40, 80, maybe a little bit more. Wear the mask. That's all you got to do. I see people walking around everywhere still without the mask. I'm like, man, they're not going to be, the police officers need to start writing tickets and they'll stop. You get a ticket that's $300, $400, you start putting that mask on. And you go, well, I can't breathe, and get a mask that you can breathe in. I have 5 different types of masks.
Yeah. All right. So what are the shows that you watch? What kind of TV shows do you watch?
I'm watching The 100 right now. I watch Snowpiercer. God, I watch so many shows. I watch everything probably on TV right now.
Everything? Did you watch Chernobyl?
Yeah, I watched it. It was very good.
Okay, that was good. How about The Righteous Gemstones? I just finished that.
How many seasons is that on? I didn't see that.
It's one. It's so funny. Watch it if you haven't. So you're not watching everything. So here now you have something to watch that you weren't already watching. It's on. I think it's on HBO. Which is good. And because you're.
Well, what is it about? See, if it doesn't hold me, I'm done.
It will hold you. It's so funny. And so it's about an evangelist family who runs a huge church that makes a ton of money, and some things go wrong.
Have you seen the new what is that show? The new the new detective show on HBO. Can't think of the name. It's a famous name. Something Mason. Oh no.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's Perry Mason. Perry Mason.
Yes. Have you seen that?
I saw the first episode, but I really didn't like it.
Oh my, no, you got to keep watching.
Really?
Oh, it gets so good.
Okay. All right.
It's about evangelist church too.
Really?
And actually how much power. Oh yeah. See, you didn't get to that part yet. That's what it's
really
about.
Are we talking about the show with Matthew Rhys from The Americans?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It starts getting to an evangelist church too. And then you're going to see everything is connected. See, that's what the problem was. You had to corrupt police and you had basically corrupt the church.
Oh, okay. So I will watch it, but the first episode, All right. I'll go.
See, here's the thing I've learned. This is what I do sometimes. When I see a show that has a lot of seasons, I start in the second or third season. And then I go back, after I'm done watching, I go back and watch the first, because otherwise it won't hold me. I'll be watching, I'll be like, oh God, this is so slow. It's like, come on, move. Because I like fast-paced stuff.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So I'm telling you now that you're going to love the Righteous Gemstones. Watch it tonight. And you're going to think you're going to be like, oh, I'm so glad she told me to watch it. That's the thing too, is I like to be hooked like right away. Sometimes I'll stick it out a little longer, but I couldn't with Perry Mason. That's what I did with.
I had to get to the second show before it really hooked me. Second show, it hooked me. After you see but you didn't see what happened in the very first with the baby?
I did. That was interesting.
So that's why you have to keep watching, because it's a setup.
Oh, okay.
It's going to set you up to start when you see everything start happening. See, if you understood police corruption, you're going to see it to the fullest.
That
like in those days,
sense.
they can do whatever they want to do. Okay, you think it's bad now? Like in those days, they could do whatever they wanted to do.
Okay, I will watch that.
They wanted to say, and they got away with it.
What about Watchmen? Did you watch that?
Of course, it was good.
Yeah.
I don't know so much. I hope it comes back, because I don't know if I like the ending or not yet.
I don't think it's coming back. I think they said that they felt like it was one season and one season only, but you never know. Time will tell. But I did what you do with Breaking Bad. I waited until I didn't like it at the beginning when it was airing like regularly. And then years later, I was looking for something to watch. And I'm like, let me just skip to season 2. And like, I was hooked.
That's the best way to do it. Sometimes season 1 is so slow that you can't watch it. You got to go to season 2 to start ahead. Yeah. And then once you watch all the seasons, you can go back and watch 1, and then it's great. Because now you're more tied to all the people. Once I get tied to the people, then it's good. You're
in. So you have one child, right? You have only not a child anymore. You have a son. You have 2?
My daughter is 23. Yeah, we'll be 23.
Okay.
My son is 22. We'll be 22. He's 21 right now.
And how are they handling?
He's fine. Me and him are homebodies anyway. But he's eventually, he has a girlfriend. They'll get married probably, and he'll be gone. And just be me. And my daughter, she'll be around. They'll all be around, but they'll kind of get along and hang out. So.
All right. So you're a homebody?
Yeah, I've always been a homebody. I go away and I work, and I come back and I just hang out. I don't really care anymore. I'm not gonna break my back to date people anymore. I'm not gonna do that.
So you're not dating anybody?
I don't really care to. I don't really care anymore.
Since when?
It's been a little bit. I don't think I want the headache.
You may change your mind at some point.
No, I don't think so.
No? Really? You don't think so?
When you start getting up to the 55 category, you start thinking a lot differently. You just start realizing that if someone's not thinking like you and believing like you, no, I'm good. It's a headache. It's a nightmare.
When you get older, it's harder and harder even just to make friends, right? And like to keep friends.
Well, I have friends. I've got friends I've had for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, but do you meet new ones? Do you meet new ones now? Probably not.
No, because we don't trust people. How can we trust them?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I can't trust that they're not going to do something, that can make you look bad. When it's happened a couple times, it's happened already like twice. I don't need that again. It's like, even if you're not, because even dating, like if you don't date people you've been knowing for 20 years, it's tough. Because if they come on and say something that's a lie, the media buys it and then screws up your whole life. We're guilty. We got to prove our innocence.
Yeah, that's so much harder. That's such another element. Yeah, on top of everything else, is that you have so much to lose, or like there's so much more risk than just somebody who's not famous. Yeah. Did anything happen?
Okay, I was into other shows to watch. I'm thinking about it. Okay, you may not like it, but it's kind of fun to me. Doom Patrol is pretty good, and all the DC shows are great. You don't like DC, right?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think my son is walking in the background right now.
Yeah, the guy naked in his underwear walking in the back.
That's really my son.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, what kind of house you live in? Is that your son? Was that your son?
Yes, but I'll tell you what, when I normally do this, I'm tilted in another direction. But today I was like, I need a new background. I'm tired of the same spot for all my video interviews. So I moved it. So he thinks he can just walk anywhere with his underwear and it's not going to be a problem. But I saw him in the reflection too.
It was pretty funny. Kids.
So So that's that. But wait, let's get back to Doom Patrol, because Doom Patrol, I just had 2 Doom Patrol stars on the show. I had Diane Guerrero, who plays Jane.
Yeah.
Right? So she was just on Really Famous.
She's a really good actress. She's playing a whole bunch of different characters. She's playing like 27 or 34 characters, I think it is. I think she does 34, I think, eventually. So
okay, I confess I don't watch it because I'm not a superhero person, but she's really good. I know.
But see, I am. Like, I'm a Marvel person. I'm all those people. I watch all that.
So what do you think of, so then I guess that whole, do you remember that Scorsese argument of like, it's not cinema?
He's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. It is cinema. I'm sorry he doesn't like it, but it's better cinema than what he's doing. And the box office tells you that.
So you don't like his movies at all?
No, I like his movies, but the box office shows you what's doing better.
Oh.
It's like, what kind of movie do you want? You want a movie that everybody loves, or a movie that's going to make $800 million? You want a movie that's going to make $800-something million. It's just a fact of life. It's just action. That's all it is. It's action with some comedy in it, with different parts in it. But ultimately, the actors in it are good. They're not bad actors. They're good actors.
On my, I like really good drama. I like comedy too, but I like something with like reality in it. I also can't do fantasy, sci-fi. It's just not my thing.
Wow. You're missing out.
The last time I did it was Lost, and I did love Lost, but they had that supernatural.
If you like Lost, then you'll like all these other shows too. That's what I'm saying. You'll understand it once you watch and you see. The reason why I like a lot of the DC shows because they're mixed. No, there's no all white show. There's not.
I hear it.
I will not watch an all white show. I won't do it.
But almost everything is like, right? I mean, there's so much of it is.
No, even in Perry Mason, they have a black guy, a black cop, and his wife. I just care about them being realistic. Like these cowboy westerns, they weren't realistic. None of them were. There was always a black town in front of that white town. That's what it says in the books. Why didn't we ever see that? Why was it never written in? See, it just shows you how discriminatory this business can be and was.
Right. But also remember that everybody is watching all this stuff too. So it's sinking in, you know what I mean? So it's like, right. No, but what I'm saying
is tell the truth. Okay. Like for instance, with Rome, I read that there were 2 black emperors. How come we never saw that? That's strange how we never saw that.
Most of the...
And Rome wasn't racist. It was about how much money you had, which is a huge difference. So just tell the truth is all we're saying. Tell the truth and just, give us what we want, which is let us become normal. That's all we want to be. Is treated like everybody else. That's it. We're not asking for anything else. Just to be treated like everybody else. What we have coming to us. That's all. To be Americans. That's it. We just want to be Americans. That's it. Not hard about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so. I'm so with you. And I think so many people, more people now our eyes are opening, and we're seeing all this, everything. And it's, it's key for everybody to come together for it, and not just be you fighting for it, but everybody feeling like it's so important. It's like, how can you not?
Really, if it doesn't get worked out, it's going to destroy America.
Yeah. Well, it's on the way, so let's not. Yeah, all right, so let's do this. We're out of time, so almost out of time. So I know you have another interview coming up. So I just want to ask you like 4 questions, 4 or 5, something like that, and then we'll put that up as a separate video, and it's going to be focused on you today. So we can do that, not just your past, but what you are about today. Good?
Sure.
One thing that you feel really good about yourself is what?
I feel complete today.
Looking back, what's one thing that you're so glad that you did?
Didn't give up.
If there's one thing that you could change about yourself, what would it be?
Probably make me be probably not as angry or affected by what I've seen. But then again, I'm not really angry, but I'm just more disappointed in this country is what I am.
Mm-hmm.
When a person lives in this country and it can travel overseas and sees that it's better over there than it is for us over here, that's shame on America for that. I'm really discouraged in America right now, and I'm hoping it changes.
I'm going to change the tone of the next question. Ready? If you could pick any two celebrities to be your parents, who would you choose?
Wow. I think I would have picked Conrad Bain to be my father. My mother? I don't know. Gosh. I don't know. What woman I'd pick as my mother.
Charlotte Rae?
Mother?
Charlotte Rae?
No.
No.
I love Charlotte Rae though, but no. That's a difficult one. Finding a woman is a difficult one. The man is easy, but the woman, I don't know.
What is the image that people have of you? So people who don't know you, who do they think Todd Bridges is?
A person who made mistakes, or a person who did things on purpose, and there was no reason behind all that.
And who are you really?
A person who never wanted to make those mistakes, but they got made because that's what happens when the other stuff occurs. Mistakes are going to happen, But the good thing about it is that I was able to pick myself out of there, and get 30 years ahead of me, and able to live good, live a decent life, as a good human being.
And what's one thing that you wish everybody knew about you?
Oh, I wish they'd stop thinking that I've been getting high like last week.
Because it's been almost 30 years. Let's just be clear for the record.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So thank you for everything. I know you don't like doing this kind of thing. Was it totally painful?
It was all painful. I do not like doing it all anymore. I'm so done.
I'm so sorry. It's
okay. It's okay though. It's okay. It's not your problem. I suffered through this. I promised them this much, my manager team, but that's about it for me.
So you told them you'll do two only?
When I start all the producing stuff I start doing, I won't be doing talking to me anymore.
So have you been screwed before by media? Like have they, or is it just you're so sick of it?
They always say that we're not going to bring up your past, and they bring it up. It's the first thing they do. And it's like, I know. I totally get it. You have to understand, we've been screwed so many times, you know what I mean? That's the problem. So how can you trust anything when you've been messed over so many times? You can't.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I'm a trusting person, but I get it. That was Todd Bridges. We did text each other afterwards, and I am planning to give Perry Mason another shot. Oh, and how'd you like that Zoom interruption? Pretty funny. Gotta love it. Anyway, thanks to Shane and Barb and everyone on social media who's been heaping on the support and saying supremely amazing things about the show and about me too. Last week, I shared an awful, cringy review that somebody posted about my talk with Dennis Quaid, and I got an outpouring of support and heard the best things about my interview style and about the show. It was amazing and a big surprise for me, so thank you. And just so you know, those things, they really do mean a lot to me. So thank you. Please check out my sponsor, BetterHelp, and get 10% off by going to betterhelp.com/reallyfamous. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/reallyfamous, and stay tuned, more talks are coming your way. Oh, that reminds me, I landed one of my dream guests. Hello. Last summer, I posted a clip on social media of my dream guests. I talked about, maybe a dozen or so that I would love to have on the show. One of them saw the clip and said, yes, that was a year ago. And now we booked it. So stay tuned. That's coming your way soon. I'm Kara. Thanks for listening to Really Famous.
I will watch that show. You said it's called, what's it called again?
The Righteous?
Just text me the show. Text me the show and I'll watch it.
I will text you the show, but I have to tell you, I have a feeling there's not a single Black person on the show.
Oh, and I won't watch it.
But I have to tell you, though. Hold it.
That's probably why I haven't seen it.
But hold on, in that show, that's like the ridiculousness of what is going on in that show it's a small pocket of, like, let me put it this way. These would be heavy Trump supporters. Get it? So
I got friends like that. I got my friends, Scott Baio, one of my good friends, one of my best friends. I've been knowing him forever.
Wait, Scott Baio? Is that what you said? Yeah. I heard he's like, yes.
Whatever, to each his own. But just don't ask me my opinion or you're going to get it.
Well, do you talk
just
about it?
Just don't talk to me about politics. No, we don't talk about politics. We know where the line is drawn with everybody. So he don't talk about politics. You know what he'll hear. He don't want to hear that. So we're good friends that way. We respect each other enough not to do that. I'm not going to do anything to him. He's not going to do anything to me. So we're good. We've been friends since we were kids. We toured together for 7 years.
So that's cool.
Me and him going to different countries, different cities. I mean, every city in America, singing and dance on the weekends.
That's another flip side, though. That's really cool that he knows what you've been through. You know what he's been through.
Yeah, he was there when the Klan called my house, called my hotel, saying they were going to kill me. He didn't tell me until 10 years later. The Klan called my room and said he wanted to kill me when I was in Alabama.
That's outrageous.
He didn't tell me until 10 years later.
So
Thank God he answered the phone. We're in the hotel.
Yeah.
And he picked the phone up and he goes, hung up, and then he told security just to keep an extra eye on me everywhere I went and make sure they stay with me. I mean, we've been in the car with sheriffs that were like, I just hate them in people, but you guys are great. And we're looking at my mom like, yeah, okay, wow. Well, what are you going to say? You going to tell the sheriff something of his town something? No, you're going to say nothing. You just deal with it.
That's outrageous.
But we shouldn't have to deal with that. Like, it's a lot of things I can say that white people wouldn't like, but we don't do that. It's not nice. You don't say things that are not nice to people. It's not fair. I've never called somebody a racist name in my life. I'd never have anybody because I know what it feels like, so I've never done it. I've never gotten mad. I've gotten mad at everybody, every race and shit, but I've never said something to them like, you're racist this or you're this. I've never said that. It's just not who I am.
Okay, I just lost your volume. I totally don't hear you anymore. Do you hear me? All right, listen, I'm going to text you. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to text you, and I'm going to thank you then for doing the show. Bye, Todd.
You there?
Oh, yeah, wait, you're back. I was saying goodbye to you. I couldn't see you or hear you, so I was basically just saying goodbye to a frozen screen, but I wanted to thank you first. I wanted to thank you for doing this, especially since you hated it. So I have to tell you, honestly, if I had known that you didn't want to talk about any of this, I would definitely have not talked about it.
It's okay. I had to do it because I promised it.
Yeah, but you didn't. I mean, I guess you promised it to the movie people, I guess, but that's not how I work it. So I always want it to be good for everybody. And the point for me is just so people can get to know who you are, and so it's not about what happened then.
But see, I don't mind. Just that I want people to understand why we say things, understand why we go through this. Even in the show they went through, they showed they didn't have to show that. They didn't have to show that, but they did.
That's true.
Yeah, they did not have to show that.
I have to say though
that they didn't show anybody else, nothing else, anybody else like that. They got to talk about it. That's all they did.
That's true.
But they showed mine, didn't they? Just throw it in my face. Thank you. Oh, yay.
So were you like, so you didn't know? Oh, well, you never know how they're going to edit things like that.
I was told it wasn't going to be there.
So why did you even do it then? Why would you say yes to that?
Because I thought they would do what they said they were going to do.
What did they say?
Now I just proved my point. That they were going to edit, they were going to put any of that in. I don't mind being a cautionary tale if you let me tell the story. But not your cautionary tale that they want you to be their cautionary tale that's not, it's not done the way it should be done. Explain why all that happened. Tell the reason why that happened. Don't just show facts. Then oh yeah, I know you went through bad trouble, but they don't know why. Yeah. And that's the thing. They don't know why. But when you're getting completely, when things are happening the way they happen to me, and the system's not fair, and the reason why I won is I shouldn't have been there anyway. And that's the thing about life is that it's just so difficult sometimes. But it's great in a lot of ways. It can be worse for you. All
right, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna give you the name of the thing to try it anyway, and then.
But if you told me there's no minorities in it, I'm be done. As soon as I watch it, I'll be like, gotta go. First show. I won't continue to watch it. I can't support.
No. There is. I just remembered. Yes, there is, and he's I like his character, so it's good.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I feel like I know you a little bit after this talk, and I feel like you're gonna like it. So you'll see the character. He works for the family, and he's the guy with all the operations. So, all right, they're in there. All right, Todd. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.